Thanks for checking back with me. Haven't made a post in a while, but that's going to be changing in the near future. So I'd like to get it back on track by kind of giving an update on where I've been the last few weeks, and then setting the stage for where I'm going in the next several weeks with this internship. The last 4 weeks or so, 3 or 4 weeks, I've been spending a lot of time at the middle school, getting to know both my cooperating teacher and other personnel, but most importantly, getting to know my students. And I can say that right at this point now, early on in the semester, in the internship, I feel like I'm already at the point of familiarity and comfortability with my students and them with me, as I was at the very end of my internship in the fall, which I think is a good thing. And I think it has more to do with the student's age rather than any individual characteristics of me or the students. I think that with the 14-year-olds, freshmen from last fall, they're at an age where it's not really cool to talk to the teacher and have that kind of interaction, for the most part. And if they do talk, they're gonna try to limit it to the course material, make sure they're getting the grades, whatever. But these kids, the 7th graders, they're 12 years old, and I think they're still at an age where they want to be my friend, especially because I'm a younger teacher. They want to talk, and they want to talk about stuff that's outside of the realm of civics and economics, which is good, up to a point, as long as you can kind of facilitate that, but make sure that it's not abused, and you still have the ability to bring the discussion to where it needs to be. So I think that's good as far as where I'm at with the students personally. I've also gotten pretty comfortable with the school rules and procedures and policies in general. I don't anticipate any kind of issues with that kind of thing. One challenge, though, that I've come to realize is dealing with the school environment and the community environment. There's definitely a particular political viewpoint and social viewpoint that kind of permeates through the parents and families, through the teachers themselves. And it's a particular challenge for, I think, social studies teachers, who on the one hand need to try to keep their own personal political beliefs beneath the surface and kind of hide their own bias and show both sides of everything. But on the other hand, wanting to kind of challenge students to think about things in a way that perhaps they're not being pushed to think about at home or with other teachers. So that's something that I'm kind of trying to wrap my head around a little bit in this particular community, and it's something that I think would extend to many other communities as well. So it's something it's good for a young teacher to be thinking about those kinds of issues. Couple other challenges, or one main challenge in particular that I experienced today even, is trying to figure out what level is appropriate for teaching a 12-year-old. Coming from a graduate program in history and having dealt almost exclusively with other graduate students for the past several months, I've got a certain mindset of what's familiar to me and what's comfortable for me to talk about is certainly not on level with what a 12-year-old is capable of at this point in their academic life. I kind of got an introduction to this last semester in the fall with 9th graders. But again, today was my first full day of full-time teaching of the curriculum, and I went through my first lesson with every class, and there were a couple points where I did notice that I was teaching, I think, at a level that was a little bit above what they were able to comprehend. And one class in particular, the 4th period, I noticed that the main thing was the vocabulary that I was using, both verbally and on the materials that the students were getting, was, I think, beyond what they were capable of working with. And fortunately, I guess fortunately, I can say that I'm glad I noticed it in one class, even though it did pose a problem. Just being able to actually notice it allowed me, for the 2 periods following, to kind of mix it up a little bit and incorporate some kind of opportunity for the kids to make a note of what words were giving them problems, and we could then address them as a class. So, to get back to that whole what level is appropriate, it's still something that I'm struggling a little bit with, but I think I'm also on the right track as far as, you know, being able to catch it when I'm going a little bit, you know, above their heads a little bit, catching it somewhat early and then trying to do something about it, either for classes later in that particular day, such as what happened today, or just noting it for future lessons and you know, changing up my methodology a little bit, either across the board or with specific class periods. So, like I said, today was my first day of full-time teaching, full-time responsibility for all classes, planning lessons and units, assessment and evaluations and all that good stuff. I'm excited about trying out my ideas, and today was really the first chance I got to try out a full class period of my own construction, and you know, overall I think it went well. I think I had a tendency to start talking myself a little too much, and so I mean that's a learning experience. In the future I can build it into the lesson a little bit more as far as providing instructions, as far as kind of just directing where the class is going to go. But also, I think, and my cooperating teacher echoed this, I think you know, for a first day of teaching all the classes, teaching my own materials, we were both, I think, pleased with how smoothly it went. And you know, there will be days, I'm sure, when things just don't go as planned. But you know, today, fortunately, wasn't one of those days. And when it does happen, you know, it's a learning experience, and I think it's only going to get better from here. As we get into units on economics, we're going to be doing a lot of hands-on activities, and I'm really interested and, you know, excited about the opportunity to create some hands-on things for the kids and test them out, see how well they go in practice, and yeah, and just think about ways of improving, you know, planning and implementing those. So stay tuned. I'll make another post at the end of this week and let you know how my first week as a full-time teacher went. And until then, cheers, and keep your eyes open.